Hey, thanks for joining me today. It is Tuesday, February 2nd. It's Groundhog's Day. And I don't know about you, but I feel like it's been Groundhog's Day for about 10 months now. So, yeah, let's, whatever. Flame on. But I do want to thank everyone that likes and shares my video, especially the people that watch this video in the first hour, because that's when it all matters. It's the people that watch it in the first hour. If you watch it all the way to the end, hit the like button, then that lets the algorithm know that this is a good video, and they'll be more apt to share it. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. Today, I want to talk about Alexey Navalny. You may have heard about him in the news recently, and I am going to be making some points that I don't think you're going to hear anywhere else, so I hope you stick around for all of those. But he was arrested, and let's just look at how CNN covered this. Alexey Navalny handed new jail term as he denounces Putin the poisoner. This was published today. A Moscow court sent Alexey Navalny to prison for more than 2.5 years. On Tuesday, closing a heated hearing in which the Kremlin critic ridiculed claims he broke his parole conditions while recovering from poisoning and denounced Russia's leader as Putin the poisoner. The decision is likely to inflame anger among Navalny supporters as tens of thousands of Russians have turned out for protests over the past 2 weekends, many demanding the activist's release. His allies have already called for another round of nationwide demonstrations this weekend. So that's it. You've heard about this guy. Supposedly he was poisoned. He ran for mayor of Moscow years ago. He's been an opposition leader to Putin. And we've heard a lot about him, and he gets pretty glowing coverage in the Western press, in the mainstream press. We hear nothing but good things about this guy, and it just got me thinking that there are other foreign leaders that we've heard nothing but good things about in the mainstream press, such as Venezuela's Juan Guaido, right? And we know that this guy's been propped up by D.C. We know that he's been employed around think tanks in Washington, and that his entire... he probably glows, if you know what I mean, okay? And there's a reason that the U.S. really props up Guaido in what's going on in Venezuela. You know, Venezuela, the country with the most oil reserves in the entire world. It's too bad that they want to keep their oil, you know. It's like, hey, what's America's oil doing underneath Venezuela, right? But there's a lot of parallels between the two, and I want to give you a little bit of information about Navalny that I've seen recently that I just haven't seen discussed anywhere. Now, he is known for being this big anti-corruption guy, right? He's the leader of the Russia of the Future party. I think that's a good name, Russia of the Future. You could do some Back to the Future kind of memes with it, I think would be good. He has 6 million YouTube subs. So he definitely has a lot of influence and power. Now, shockingly, this is a politician that has been already barred from running for president in the future, at least for the next decade or so. Interesting that evil Putin would want to bar a politician from ever running for president. I mean, nothing like that could happen here, could it? But there are obviously always, 2, 3, 20 sides to a story. And I was looking at some different discussions about Navalny, and I know that the Kremlin claims that his team are foreign agents. Well, if a government says that someone else is a foreign agent, we should just take them at their word, right? Because anytime the U.S. government has called someone else foreign agents. They were obviously foreign agents. Or were they? Earlier this week, Russia's FSB, I think that's their FBI, if I'm not mistaken, they released video of an associate of Navalny's meeting with someone from the British embassy, asking for millions of dollars in support for propaganda, for resistance to Putin, things like that. I've seen criticisms of Navalny as being a terribly racist, terribly xenophobic. I mean, I can't put all this into context. My Russian's not that good. And I don't know if calling a certain ethnic group or something rodents, I don't know. Maybe that's not a big deal over there. It sounds like it, but again, my Russian's not great. I'm still on level 1 on Duolingo. I know mashina I yenshina, men and women. Kindergarten vocabulary is what I have. Not enough to translate these things well. But the fact that all these Western leaders are aligning with him, even though he's been accused of being an ultra-nationalist, of being really, really far right, that's kind of weird, because I think someone with those same credentials would definitely be kicked off Twitter, definitely be kicked off YouTube, definitely just been on the out if they were in the United States. But somehow the enemy of my enemy is okay, I guess. I don't know. This whole thing is confusing, and I gotta tell you, I don't know. I don't know this at all. But I am seeing a lot of similarities between Alexey Navalny and Juan Guaido. And that is that they are being propped up by the West to cause trouble and hopefully overturn a country. That's what it looks like to me. But I don't know. I got to tell you something else that's interesting, and I guess I'll share it now. Every time I do a video about Venezuela, I get contacted personally by someone claiming to be Venezuelan in Venezuela, although for whatever reason they don't mask their IP, and I can trace it back to a place that happens to be American intelligence. I don't know. That's kind of weird. But it's weird that anyone would even bother trying to influence me. I have such a small channel, but it definitely does happen. Yeah, and I'll probably get some weird emails today as well. But I just wanted to share my thoughts about this, that maybe, perhaps, everything that we're hearing about Navalny is not really that accurate. Please let me know what you think about this. Is Navalny really a anti-corruption crusader, or is he being used by Western powers to disrupt things in Russia? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have an awesome day. Peace.